You know, it's amazing how the experiences one has as a child can have such an impact on them later in life. For example, take this machine shop. This is the headquarters of Micron Applied Technologies located in Lewisville, Texas. We're just north of Dallas. It's a business that exists primarily because the owner watched his uncle work in a shop much like this when he was a kid, and it fascinated him, and he never forgot. And growing up, it actually became his goal in life to own his own shop. Now, many years later, here it is, a shop that has found its niche by creating high-quality parts for everything from jet aircraft to motorcycles. This is another one of those stories of a company that started on a shoestring in a garage and is now going bigger and better than ever. As for that kid who had the dream, his name is Ron Lauder. This is really heavy.
Yes, it's 5/8 thick. It'll go down to about 75% of its weight.
So you mill most of this out.
It's milled out.
Okay.
Correct.
And you're going to end up with this.
Yes, but most of what we do is short, quick turn, short run jobs.
And is that the advantage that a shop like yours brings to the table?
That's why our customers come to us, because they need a shop that can turn it quick and for a good price.
All right, let's take a look and see what happens.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Micron is a machine shop. We're classified as a job shop. We mill parts. We have 7 CNC mills here. Parts that we do are real similar to this right here. I mean, not all parts are going to look like this, but basically you have all the basic things we do. We drilled, we milled. There's all kinds of milling and drilling operations on this part.
Ron, think back. What was it that made you want to get into this business in the beginning? Do you remember?
It's kind of funny. My uncle had a machine shop up in Michigan. And back then I was just a kid looking to make a little extra money, so I'd cut his grass and I'd go into a shop and I'd see these machines. Just was fascinated by these machines milling these big chunks of metal down. And so that's what sparked my interest.
Michelle, tell me the story of how the company started. Go back to the beginning.
We started this company based on my husband's idea of owning his own business. And so I put our family of 4 on a strict budget, and we saved $8,000 in a year. He was only making $16 an hour, and I was a stay-at-home mom. And we bought our first machine and hooked it up in our garage. And he did his full-time job, and I ran the machine in the garage when I stayed home with the kids.
When we talk to a customer, we don't just tell them what they want to hear. We tell them what we can do. A lot of times the customers that we talk to, they need the parts 2 weeks ago. But we don't tell them that we can do it unless we know we can do it. And that's why we've got customers that come back, because they know that if I tell them we're going to have the part done, they're going to have the parts.
Who are the typical kinds of customers that you do work for?
Because we're a job shop, it's not one industry. I mean, I've got a customer that we do components for a handheld overhead crane control box. I've got a customer that we build brace fixtures for. That's for the tubing industry, bracing tubing. I've got a customer that we do that's telecommunications. We've got another customer that is aircraft. So we're not just in one industry, and that helps us a lot.
Orbis is a global company. We've got several offices all over the world. We're concentrating here basically on building prototypes for base station module testing. We need, first of all, quite strict tolerances, which Micron is well capable of doing. So typically there are plus minus 15 hundreds of millimeter, or some press fit spots it could be like a few thousands of a millimeter. And not just the precision capabilities, but Micron is a perfect partner for us because they are a fairly small company. They're extremely flexible, very cost effective, and absolutely the quality has been extremely good.
In some cases, it's very exacting, and in other cases, we've got, wide open tolerances. But most of the stuff we do, can be anywhere from a couple tenths of an inch on a diameter, you know, plus 2/10, minus nothing. We may have 1/1000th flatness on a big part that's 10 by 10 inches. And that's pretty common with some of these housings that we do.
I created a program on Excel that basically tracks all the parts based on Ron's quotes. So he gives me all the numbers that he gives to a company, and then I turn around and enter it into the program, and then when I plug the numbers in plus the quantities, it gives me the times. And so then I'll split it up between the different machines that we have. Then I'll enter it in and get the closest dates that I could possibly get where they're all equaled out, and then I hand it out to the machine.
How long does a typical job take from the time when it comes in the door to when it goes out?
It can be anywhere from 15 minutes to 16 hours. And depending on whether you've got just a print or if you have an IGES file, which is a CAD file that you'll normally get from the customer. When that job comes in the shop, we need to be able to get it programmed. Now, if you've got a programmer that's real slow and can't do this quick turn stuff, because that's what it's all about, you know, we got to be able to, from the time we get it until the time it gets on the floor, we need to, from programming on down to the debur guy. And so Steve's a big part of that. He's able to program these things very quickly. Even if they're pretty complex, he's able to get them knocked out quick.
We have a customer that we deal with right now that has a ferrule for a golf club. They gave me a sketch, and I took that sketch and turned it into a CAD drawing. They wanted a specific weight, so I was able to change some of the dimensions to create a certain weight for it, and then before we even got it out on the machine.
I designed a metal ferrule using Micron as the manufacturing, and my goal is the 95 to 100% performance of the club. I sat down with Micron and I asked them, is there a way you could build a metal ferrule for me that can bring the efficiency up to where I really need? I'm setting the standards real high here. Now, can we or can we not achieve that? And they said, yes, we can. So I designed on a freehand paper. They took it, they built several ferrules for me. We tested them, and that's the final product. Everything that I've received from Micron has been dead on.
We can do things that, one, nobody wants to do, but most of the time, the programmers can't do it. Ronnie is really a dying breed in his abilities to program some of these really trick, low tolerance parts that people are putting out these days.
We want to start doing more production, still stick with what we've been doing, what we know that we're good at, and that's the short run, quick turn jobs.
Micron has, over the years, been a very reliable supplier for us. They run everything that they make for me, they run those parts direct from CAD files. It's very convenient for us because a lot of the parts that we run, they're very organic in their geometry, their shapes and things are a lot of times critical, and a lot of machine shops, quite honestly, can't do that. They can't run straight from files. It's very hard for them to run those kinds of parts. They also have been very, very strong on delivery and quality, you know, and I need that. They're very flexible. They give us what we need when we need it. As you go along in business, there are some of those people that you do business with, and that's what they are. I mean, they're a business contact. And there are those that you develop a friendship with over the years. He and I have a very loose relationship. We throw punches back and forth at one another, and we have fun. At the end of the day, I think we're able to do that because the business side of things is handled so well.
Now we're here in Louisville, which is your headquarters. Is your location, you think, an advantage for you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we're 25 miles north of Dallas. We're about the same, you know, east of Fort Worth. We've got Denton to our north, and we got Garland to the east. So we're kind of like right in the middle. Well, the guys that we got here, they all are good machinists. Because of the kind of work we do, they're not just what we call button pushers. They're guys that can set these things up. They have to be able to set these jobs up quick, get them done, and don't get them done so fast to where the quality gets sacrificed, because that's something else that's a real big part of Micron is the quality. Basically, what I'm telling you is what I want everyone to know. If they want a machine shop that's reliable, a shop that can get the job done right and done quick, and they're going to tell you, you know, what they can do and not what you want to hear. And most of the times, what I tell them is what they want to hear. And I just want potential customers and existing customers to know that. It's like, when you call on, Micron, you can count on it being done right, and done when you needed it.
And that's it, the story of Micron Applied Technologies. For Ron and Michelle Loudon, it's really the story of a dream come true. I'm Doug Llewellyn reporting from Louisville, Texas.